unfortunately, it's about 5 minutes to midnight, so we have time for perhaps one or two others. I just want to remind you that there is a transcript that will be made out of all of the testimony contributed tonight, and that testimony will be invaluable to the work of the task force. And if you don't get the chance to speak tonight, you can still submit testimony online at the task force website, which is www.cga.ct.gov/A-Safer-Connecticut. And I can assure you that the men and women on this stage will read that testimony that's submitted. Is Timothy Richmond here?
Thank you very much for coming here today. My name is Tim Richmond. I'm a resident of Oxford, the next town over. I'm a first responder. I'm a volunteer firefighter, a career firefighter, an EMT. And I thank God that I wasn't one of the first responders that had to go to this tragedy. My son almost made it as a mutual aid company. In any event, first let me say that my heart goes out to everyone who was involved in this horror. As a parent and grandparent, I can't conceive what the families are going through. On that day, we saw the absolute best side of human nature in our first responders and the teachers and educators at Sandy Hook School, and a side that represents abject evil. Now, let me state up front, I don't know what can be done to keep events like this from happening short of re-engineering the human brain. Until human evolution somehow short-circuits our propensity to harm our fellows, things like this will still happen. Quick, politically motivated fixes are not going to stop it. And I submit to you that you cannot legislate common sense or morality. It's been tried before and it's never worked. America has tried prohibition before, whether it's alcohol or drugs. That's not working too well. If you do that with firearms, you're going to have an underground economy with them. You're going to make petty thugs into crime czars, just like it's done with the drug problem, but on a much grander scale. There are those that say the Second Amendment doesn't guarantee a person the right to own a modern sporting rifle. I don't like to use the A word. That the Founding Fathers did not have AR-15s in mind when the Constitution was written. Well, I submit to you that until the first third of the 20th century, the civilian population of the United States had access to far better firearm technology than the U.S. soldier. In every conflict until World War II, when the M1 Garand rifle was made standard, the firepower edge went to civilians. Our Founding Fathers knew this. They understood that we have certain inalienable rights, and the Second Amendment is one of those enumerated rights. Semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, and handguns have been available to the general public well before the military and police routinely used them. Again, our Founding Fathers knew and embraced the fact that free people should be afforded the same level of personal protection as those individuals whose job was keeping order.
Tim, if I could just, you're going to be our last speaker, if I could just ask you to conclude very briefly.
I would like to see existing laws enforced. If you're going to do anything to change those laws, up the penalties. Background checks, I have no problem with those. School security, I also think that that's very, very important. And most of all, mental health. Lots and lots of support for our mental health professionals. Again, I do remember, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I remember Newton's law.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't get the chance to speak tonight, please submit your testimony online. And if you'll just indulge us with a few thank yous. First, on behalf of the Newtown delegation, Representative Belinsky, Representative Hovey, and Representative Carter we want to thank our colleagues who've come from all across the state to come here from Newtown, especially Senator Williams, Speaker Sharkey, and Representative Larry Cafaro. We want to thank the Newtown High School facility and maintenance team, Tom Sweats, the auditorium manager, Mark Pompano, the director of security, Jason Hiruo, the assistant principal, Charles Dumais, the principal. We want to thank the Newtown Police, the State Capitol Police, including Lieutenant Cinco and Officer Jason Flynn. We want to thank our staffs who've all worked in a bipartisan, collegial way, who've done a terrific job. And obviously, Senator Williams has some thank yous as well, but the most important thank you is to all of the people of Newtown who came out tonight. Senator Williams.
Thank you, Senator McKinney. I want to thank you, Senator